Hi everyone, we've got another mock test today. Beth's been kind enough to let us video what's going on. Just let everyone know what you've done driving wise. I know we've had, how many lessons have we had since we've been able to back work? We've had a couple?
Yeah, a couple, yeah.
A couple of lessons. Didn't we do, just thinking about it, didn't we do a mock test in between the two lockdowns as well? Did we do a mock test with you, or is this your first one?
This is my first one, yeah.
Wicked. That's all right then. So, this is Beth, by the way, everyone. You know who I am. Did you just remind us again? You had a few lessons with a different instructor before you came to me, because I remember you could drive pretty well.
I had about 10 lessons, and then I took looks like a year or two break.
And then you came back to it.
Yeah, then I came back here.
And found me. All right, no problems. Beth's driving's pretty good. It's about time that we had a mock test. What I always do with all my pupils is we give them a mock test to give them an idea of when to book it. And this is an important thing to do with your driving instructor. Don't just go off and book your test willy-nilly. Especially with how things are at the moment with the backlogs. Make sure you're ready. So we're going to do a job with this today. I've got a test route planned for us. I'm going to join one and then do the last, don't sound confusing, I'm going to do the last probably 10-15 minutes of it first, and then we're going to go to do the other bit, because it actually comes past the end of the road.
Oh, okay.
So all I'm going to do,
back to front.
Well, I'm just starting probably, 80% of the way in, and then we'll do the first 80% after,
okay, if
you're following me. We will try and get you to do a manoeuvre. What I am going to do is just quickly grab my pad and pen out, because I'm going to be writing stuff down. Now, a little thing, most people, when they are doing these mock tests, prefer to just do the mock test as if it's a mock test, and we go through the faults at the end.
Okay. Some
people do prefer for me to tell you the faults after you've done them. What would be your preference today?
I think maybe tell me them when I've done them, because I feel like if you're just silent throughout the whole thing, I'm going to be making more mistakes.
All right, okay, there's no problem with that, but what's going to happen on your test is the other way round. So yeah, the more realistic one is probably to get used to the silence a little bit, okay, and that is a part of it, and just don't worry about what I'm writing down. Okay. Because sometimes the examiners do mark stuff on their tablets nowadays to say that things have been done.
Oh, okay.
All right, but it's up to you. I just wanted to give you that little bit of extra info. So, do you want to go? Do you want me to tell you as you've done them, or do you want to do them as it would be exactly on test?
Go on, do it on test. Give me a warm up for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, come on.
There's no issues. Don't feel pressured one with the other. I can quite happily just tell you the faults as you do them. It's up to you.
I'll just do it test way. I've got to get used to it anyway.
Do it test way. I think personally that's the best. Okay. All right. I'm not going to say anything to you either, Beth, apart from give you directions on where to go. Okay. If I say nothing, what direction do you go?
Forward.
You go ahead, follow the road. All right. If I want you to turn, I'll tell you in plenty of time. We will do manoeuvring exercise as well. You're pretty strong at them already. So, have you got any questions before we go?
No, I think I'm good.
No? Okay. It's going to be about 40 minutes that we're going.
Okay.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Start your car, off we go. You can drive down to the end of the road and turn left, please.
Okay. Someone's coming.
All good. I'm not going to talk much either, Beth.
Okay.
What we're going to do is just literally just let you go with it. All right?
Yeah.
We are, yeah. left mirror check that was needed, that one. I'm not going to talk much. I'll let you deal with this junction. I'll just give you a little idea of what I was just going to go on about then.
Okay.
Very good. I'm not even going to give you a pat on the back when you do things particularly well. That's okay. I'm just going to let you go and let you drive.
Okay.
That was pretty important back there to get that left mirror check. You were nearly picking up a little fault there because you checked your middle one before you signalled, and it was really important just before you did any steering left or any movement left that you had a quick check in there, so that was good. But for now, I'm not going to say a thing. I'm just going to let you go. Stop gabbing for once in my life. There's no fault here, I'm just writing something down for my reference. Feel a little nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
Good.
I think it's just a...
Good. That's a part of it as well. It's a part of the benefit of these mock tests.
Yeah.
So if I make it as realistic as I can, it helps.
I suppose it's just focusing on what you're doing rather than everything else, isn't it?
It is. Cool. Any questions?
I'm mainly just thinking back at that mirror thing where we came back. Oh.
You didn't? There was no faults with that?
Oh.
Did it fine? Yeah?
Yeah.
So, no problems. I was just really a little reminder to keep really aware of all that's going on around. Alright?
Okay. I feel like as well mirror checks are just going to be the thing that I might trip off on. Try and not think of routine mirror checks. Try and think of
the danger surrounding you, and honestly, you won't go far wrong then.
Okay.
Yeah. Just before you do anything, just have a look. It's like crossing the road, isn't it? Taking the next road on the left. It's the tree line road, just a little further. Beth was a little close to the grey Audi in front as the road merged. Follow the road ahead of us. Again, it's the tree line road across the other side where that silver Volkswagen Golf has gone.
This one here?
Yeah, it is, yeah. A left signal was required for that junction. We'll find somewhere to park on the left if we can before the red cars up. Try and avoid scraping wheels on the curb, but this time it wasn't a fault. Relax, chill, driving here, off we go. This is your test centre here on the right. We're going to get to the traffic lights now and turn right, please. All worked out, Beth. Well done. Nice job. We've got 2 roundabouts up ahead. We're going to go straight at both of them, please.
Okay.
It's up towards Asda, if you know it. Not really?
Not really.
Straight at both. It's the second exit on the second roundabout. Two faults there. Third gear wasn't really appropriate for that roundabout. The car was struggling a bit, and there was no mirrors before signalling. We are shortly going to be turning right also, please, Beth. It's at the third set of lights we see, so not this crossing, not Asda lights, but the ones a bit further up. Alright?
This one here?
No, not these Asda lights.
Okay.
The next one's further up. Alright? And it's where the van has turned, not the black car.
Okay.
Okay. Again, missing checking mirrors before signalling. Not in work later, are you, Beth?
No, thank God.
No.
Being far too much early.
Checking your mirrors before you slow down is also required.
Every time I come on this road, I remember being stuck by that right turn, nearly crying.
Was it with us?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was I think it was like our second lesson.
Did I make you do a horrible right turn?
Yeah, I felt like I was going to cry.
Sounds about right with me, doesn't it?
It's not a lesson with you unless you come out ready for the breakdown.
Well, at the end of the day, if you can cope with me, the driving test then becomes simpler.
Okay.
And I've always worked like that, Beth, so I'm glad you were convinced by me today to do it in this way to get you a little more ready for the quietness. I'm not going to say the examiners won't talk, they may, but they won't talk at times that's going to put you off.
Okay.
They'll let you go, they'll let you concentrate, and they're not doing that to be nasty. It's just unfair if they gab when you should be concentrating.
Yeah.
Okay, we're now going to pick up and follow the signs for Preston and Aintree, please. following the signs for Preston and Aintree. Mirror before signalling again. A right signal is required to turn right at a roundabout, and this was missed. Be careful, as this could easily be a serious fault in a different scenario. Good little shout to leave junction clear, well done. I'll go back to giving you some directions now. It was only for those couple of junctions that I wanted to get you reading signs.
Okay.
Set of traffic lights, we're going to be turning left, please.
Thanks so much, Jack.
Who's this?
It's my cousin.
Shouting? No.
I think he's in his world of his own.
Love doing that. People don't know who you are and you call the name.
Like
what?
who? I can't stand it when like my family or something are driving along and then they beat me. I'm like, who's beating me?
Approaching a roundabout where we're going to be turning right, Beth. There it is.
Yeah.
And it's the third exit we're going to take towards Netherton. rescued the signal.
But there still weren't any mirror checks before it.
Cool.
There were mirror checks that time, but they need to be done before signalling to time it correctly.
But this roundabout will follow the road ahead, please.
Okay.
It is the third exit, but it is ahead. The next roundabout, we're going to turn right, and it's the fourth exit, please. This next one. Then turn left, please.
Another mirror before signal fault.
We're going to take the second road on the left. It's the one just after the crossing.
And again.
Thank you, buddy. The end of the road, turn right, please.
And another.
Nice job.
Glad to see that parked cars.
It was. Did well.
Mirror before slowing this time.
Just have to deal with this queue. So, no problem.
I'm just keeping this gap just in case someone wants to emerge and they want to reverse.
Okay. What I was thinking about is the gap to that vehicle to your right, Beth. It was fine with the cars coming down the other way, but what if a bus or a lorry came? Alright?
Yeah.
So there wasn't a fault there, but it quite easily could have turned into one. Okay?
Yeah. You need to
So,
stop relying on luck.
just appreciate the space that other people need. Okay?
Okay.
What happens on test if you get stuck in a queue? Do you finish earlier? You only do a set time, or do you do a set route? Do you know?
I think it's a set route, isn't it?
It is a set route, yeah. So if the route takes us a little longer, it takes us a little longer.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. If you get through it quicker, you get through it quicker. So, have you noticed your position has been following this black Mercedes in front?
Yeah.
Again, if a bus or a lorry came down that side, there may be a lack of space. We are okay for now, because you've got shuffle room.
Yeah.
But rather than just following the vehicle in front,
Think about my
think about
surroundings.
your surroundings,
Okay.
alright? It probably would have been a little bit better there, just to keep a little bit more over that side, alright?
Okay.
Yeah, good work. That's called sod's law. As soon as you take it out of gear, the lights change. But well done, you should be thinking of doing that, alright?
Just saved me leg.
I'm sure what's going on with them lights. See how quickly they
I know,
changed?
yeah. I think it's, to be honest, there's a bit of a block up there.
Is it broke, is it?
Probably.
Yeah, sometimes when it is blocked like that, the light sequence may change in different ways. So could you fix this position now?
Maybe, and then,
Just by
Yeah.
keeping this side a little bit more.
yeah.
Just check first though, and just steer for cycles coming down that way. So we get a perfect example of it here, Beth, don't we?
Yeah.
Don't tuck it in anymore, just hold back. What if a bus tried to come through? Would there be enough room there to fit through that space between the silver one and the Mercedes?
No, not really, would there?
There you go. So even that one had to slow quite significantly.
Yeah.
So what you're doing here is perfect. Do you get the point about steering this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Right, I've slightly moved off mock test mode, but it's only because we're sat here doing nothing.
Yeah, I might as well
Alright,
be learning
you may as
something.
well be learning something. Alright, so if you move left, don't forget, could be a cycle coming past this queue, so you need to check this side. Alright, I am going to give you a little minor mark for that one, a little driver fault, but do you understand the rest of the stuff about this that we're
Yeah.
talking about?
It's
Yeah,
not just cars on the road, it's bigger
no,
vehicles too.
that's right. And would it have held the black Mercedes up whatsoever if it had waited this side of these two?
No, because he's being stuck by the lights anyway.
Makes sense. Alright? if you look at the map as well, oops, it only looks as though it's this section to the top of the Vale. Did you see the problems the van had there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he thanked us there as well. Onto it.
Come on, so yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
all right there.
Alton Vale doesn't look too bad, it's just this section here that looks a little snarled.
There's no point in the lights turning green because they can't even go anywhere on the bridge.
Nope.
What time are we at? 20 to 11.
Yeah, so we've...
It's a bit of a strange time for it to be chocker.
It is. Maybe someone broken down on the bridge, or there could be an accident down at the bottom.
It's nothing serious anyway.
Someone's getting fed up with waiting behind.
Places to go and people to see.
Yep. So what I'm going to do for everyone watching this, and don't forget we're still being recorded, is I'm going to zip through this. I'm going to I'll fast forward till we're on the move again.
Okay, do that for me as well.
I'm going to do that for you
Yeah,
as well.
like The Sims.
Great shout. Great shout. Have you noticed as well, with all of this scenario, that if we did the correct thing and just held behind this line,
Yeah.
would we clear the lights? No. Budge up to your line. So we may have to do something similar. I'm not saying like the van, but we may have to go off and force the issue a little bit, because if you did everything properly from here and stayed until you knew it was good enough,
Yeah.
do you think you'd move?
Not really, no.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So what might happen if the traffic comes from this way and then our lights change, we might go and move up by the yellow salt box and then follow on.
Okay.
Does that make sense? The examiners may very well give you a hand in certain situations like this, and if they do, they're really saying to you, it's okay, you're not going to fail for it.
Okay.
All right? So just be ready to move if needed. Luckily enough, I think we might be all right, you know.
No, yeah, please be clear. Don't make me
Maybe
have a
not,
breakdown on Mac Day. Okay, fine, God, fine.
We're good, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's flowed. So get on with it, because the more you get on with it, the more traffic can flow from this direction and you can help the queue. So it worked out brilliantly in the end, didn't it? Left at the lights, please. Perfect. But you see what happens behind as well? People block the bridge.
Yeah.
And then people from this side can't go.
get
They
out.
get frustrated and it just causes massive hold up.
I think there's just like one of my kind of, no, not a fear, but an anxiety type thing of just being in a situation where everyone is kind of being a crank, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because the more of a crank you be in, the more crazy it's going to get, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but think about what we just said there, that sometimes you have to, I wouldn't say break the rules, but bend the rules,
Yeah.
because if you stuck to the rules, you wouldn't go anywhere,
Yeah.
all right?
Oh God, no. Didn't take out a gear. Silly me. Oh, never mind.
We may not do a manoeuvre now, Beth, with the time that we've got. What about your space behind? Would it be good to budge up?
A little bit, yeah.
So
'cause,
budge up,
yeah, no one can.
because no one can drive in there, can they?
No.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you think about the scenario around you of what we've talked about, it's a little different there, isn't it?
The fault was, though, no middle mirror before slowing down.
Okay. So yeah, we may not do a manoeuvre now, just with the time scale, but that's not too big of a deal.
There's only one manoeuvre in the test, isn't there? So
Yeah.
that's okay. I can't believe how busy it is.
the road around to the right. Heading back up towards yours now, Beth.
Okay.
Beth just moved from the right side back to the left without any checks whatsoever.
At the traffic lights, we will turn right, please.
There were no mirror checks before the signal or the movement.
When we've turned right, we're immediately going to turn left back to yours.
Yep.
Okay. What we're then going to do is find somewhere down Sandy Lane to pull up and park next to the curb on the right hand side.
Right.
So we're going to do half a manoeuvre.
Okay.
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 Another signal applied without checking.
Cool.
That's there, thank you.
So if we've got to go a little bit further up the road away from yours, thank you, buddy, to park somewhere on the right, that'll be good.
Okay.
Maybe before that little Fiesta. Yeah? And go all the way up to it as well, Beth. That'll do nicely, thank you very much. Good, secure your car. Turn your car off. Relax, chill time. You can take your seatbelt off a second as well. How do you feel that went?
Okay, I think that double roundabout I messed it up.
In what way?
Oh, not the double roundabout. Wait, was it the double? Oh, I feel like I was in third gear.
You were?
And I was in third gear and I was panicking a little bit, but I was just trying to like stay nice and slow for it.
So what should you have done?
I should have just geared down.
There you go.
There you go.
But you actually did that okay. All you got for that was a little gear fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Anything else that springs to mind? We
It
can
was
do-
that checking for the cyclists when we were
In the queue?
in the queue, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Funnily enough, you didn't rack up a serious mistake until quite near the end. Just near the black ball. You were in the right side of the road.
Yeah.
And you moved to the left.
Oh, I didn't indicate.
No. And that's another thing that I'm going to go on to. You are obsessed with your indicators.
Okay.
But would it have mattered whether you indicated or not if you saw no one was there?
No.
How do you tell whether you need to indicate?
I players around me.
Okay. You moved from the right side back across to the left lane, and you didn't check whatsoever. You just steered.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And there was also a similar little scenario, just doing the right turn at the lights just back there, where you were in the left hand side, and the little protected right turn, the filter lane if you like to turn right, was there, and again you just moved across.
Okay.
Now, most of your faults that you collected were to do with mirrors and signalling. Do you know how many times throughout the whole test you just put your signal on without checking?
I don't know.
10 times.
10? Oh god, that's awful.
It's not, because it's something that we can quite comfortably fix. Right?
Yeah.
So, if you think you're a little bit signal orientated, signal, 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 signal.
I just need to check mirrors and listen
What are
to
you-
signal.
What are you? How do you know when to put your signal on?
When obviously there's people around me that I need to tell
If they were closer, when would you put your signal on?
sooner,
Good. If there wasn't anyone there,
later.
you might not even need to.
Yeah.
Okay. So without that check first, you will never time your signals correctly.
Okay.
And that's what that's all about. Okay, so that is obviously the one thing. Mirror before slowing down is also an issue. I put down 3, I think there was a couple more as well, if I was honest.
Okay.
That you tend to just slow
Without checking his
without
behind me.
checking. Think of the same thing that we said regarding the signal timing. If you were slowing down and there was a big lorry following you close, when would you like to slow down?
Sooner.
Good. If there was no one there, you could please yourself. So therefore, you need to check before you slow. Okay, that awareness. Mirror direction, we marked a little driver fault down for the one when we were in the queue and discussing about the space the other side. Okay, but then the serious fault that you picked up, and it's that one that would have failed. Mirror direction, serious fault there, was the thing at the black ball, just there where you just moved across.
Okay.
Alright, that was your gear one for the roundabout. Signal when necessary, there was one right signal on the roundabout underneath the flyover at the top of Rice Lane where you didn't right signal to turn right. If you remember, part of the way through I said well done or well rescued with your signal, and that was because the previous roundabout you didn't put it on. It was only a driver fault because no one else was around. But when you're turning right, who does that right signal help?
The people who are going to be emerging.
Good. It tells them you're going to come round in front of them, so don't forget that. Following distance, a couple of little times nearer the start, I thought it was quite evident you were nervous at the start, which is understandable. When you were accelerating away, there was a couple of times at the beginning where the traffic was maybe merging and there was maybe a vehicle here, and you didn't really adjust your acceleration to form the queue behind them. You just kept going rather than
Expanding the gap.
expanding that gap. And that comes from tension. Comes from tension with the hands, and tension from the hands leads to tension to the eyes, and tension to them too leads tension to the feet, and you don't adjust. That's how it goes on. And that is such a common thing that people will see on test. So someone asked me actually the other day on one of the YouTube comments, I've got my test coming up, any advice? And I literally put to him, relax your hands as much as you can.
Okay.
Because that then relaxes your eyes and your feet, and you're more likely to look in your mirrors before you're doing things, you're more likely to spot other things, and you're more likely to be gentle and subtle and changeable with your feet.
Okay.
Right? But that may seem catastrophic. Let's count them up. 5, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19
Oh, God.
driver faults. Okay? But only one serious. So if you think, if we tidy up the mirror work before signalling and the mirror work before slowing, and the mirror work before changing direction, we get rid of 14 of them. If we get rid of 14 of those driver faults, you're only on 5.
I can't believe I've got nearly 20 driver faults.
Don't forget as well, the other thing to remember is that I'm always tougher. I try and be, and I do it on purpose. So therefore, again, you get to your driving test and things should be a little simpler. Okay?
Okay.
We need to book your test.
I've just got 20 fails.
Exactly, and there's plenty of time in between now and doing it, and it won't take much to do it.
Okay.
So, even though that's probably not what you wanted, is it a little bit surprised that I'm still saying book it?
Yeah.
You drive well, Beth. You really do. We just got to tweak a few little safety things and you'll be done. But, however, it's actually not that many. If you just have a look before you do something. Liken it to crossing the road. Would you cross the road then look?
No.
What would you do?
Look them cross.
There's no reason to do anything different in the car. And that's it, everyone. I hope that's been useful. Take care. I'll see you soon. Wave, Beth.